travelers. This is going to be your Virgo full moon reading. The Virgo full moon will be occurring tomorrow, 7 March. If you guys can hear, I've been ill. I've actually been in the bed for 2 days. I don't know what was worse, being sick or having to be in the bed for 2 days. It was awful for me, but I'm just now kind of coming around. So, um, those of you who are waiting for me to write another article, that's going to be coming probably this evening. So it'll be coming out tomorrow on the full moon. I'm going to finish up the article on the soul recalibration reading. I think many of you have been waiting for the final portion of that. So I have with me the Radiant White deck. Okay. I have with me the Levita Sibila. Now, depending on what the story is, will determine what oracle card that we will wrap the reading up with. If you are interested in getting a reading, and you don't have to wait until I post one here on YouTube, you can contact me for a reading anytime you want a bit of clarity on something. You can reach me at that address, hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com. I am still doing personal readings. And you can go over to the About box section of my channel, and there I have listed the reading packages, which is the number of minutes, the number of questions, and the price. And just simply email me and say, hey, Tara, I want the 45-minute reading or the 30-minute reading or the 1-hour reading, and then I'll get back in touch with you, okay? So let me take a sip of water. And let's light some incense here. All right. And let me go ahead and turn the camera around. And we're going to get started with the reading. All right, here we go. For those of you who are new to my channel and my style of reading, I want to welcome you and thank you for gluing your eyeballs here. For those of you who have been with me since I started and you're still around, I want to thank you for sticking around, okay? If you are new to my style of reading, I do not read cards. I read energies. Big difference. And so you may see something and you may hear me say something. You're like, that doesn't mean that. It's energies, not the card, okay? So we're going to do a quick 9-card spread. Cut the cards. Here we go. The King of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune. The Empress. Wow, big cards at the top. Okay, next row. The Knight of Cups. The King of Wands. Wow. The Devil. Wow. Okay. Big, 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 big. The Six of Cups. This is interesting. Y'all always hear me say that, but the cards, no matter how many times I read, no matter who I'm reading for, the stories are always so interesting to me. The Three of Cups. I'm going to have to stop right here for a second. My mom's calling. Be right back. All right, apologies. That was my mom calling. Her apartment where she lives in Washington. Yesterday, the apartment below her caught fire. And she was just calling to let me know she was okay. Her apartment's okay. It's not damaged. She has no water, no smoke damage. But apparently it was some kind of lithium battery explosion in the apartment below her. So, now, last card down. Well, now, the Emperor. Well, now that's interesting. I'm not sure if this is about grown children, But as you can see, I have 1, 2, 3 court cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana. I have 3 cups, a wand, and a sword. And over here, I have the archetypal mother and father of the tarot. Okay, so that's why I say, I don't know if this is about grown children, or if this is about someone making a return. And that kind of feels more like what it is. Now, their parents may be involved in this, but we shall see. The Two of Swords over the entire reading. All right. Past, present, future. Past, present, future. Interplay of the cards. And when I say past, near or distant past, yesterday to last year, near or distant future, tomorrow to 2024. There's no timing in the tarot. But right in the center, I have the King of Wands. This is a fire sign, so he would either be a Leo, a Sagittarius, or a Aries, most likely Leo. As a profession, this guy is known as the entrepreneurial king. In other words, he's got a lot of irons in the fire. He does a lot of delegation. He's a mover. He's a shaker. Almost the same energy as this particular fella here, the Emperor. Only an Emperor, in my opinion, is more than a king. So he has more holdings. He has more things going on. He has, he's usually a philanthropist, whereas this guy's an entrepreneur. This guy's more like a coach, a philanthropist, somebody that you can get advice from, and usually will like to share advice. A lot of people go to him. Now, I have 2 3s here. The Empress is a 3, and the 3 of Cups. And I have these 3 court cards. So one meaning of 2 3s is that one of you is craving more excitement, possibly. And the other meaning of the 2 3s would be, hold on, let me see here. Let me get it right. A small but pleasant surprise. Now, 2 kings usually speaks to projects, okay? Some kind of perhaps negotiation or deal happening here. But right at the top, one major arcana card holds more sway than all of these pip cards put together. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. There are 4 of them here. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, when the card shows up, speaks about a major change happening. And usually when the card shows up, you can best believe that there is a major life change about to occur. Now, here with the Empress is, as I said, the archetypal mother of the tarot. She usually represents a very fecund female. This is someone who nurtures, bakes cookies, likes kids, likes doing all of the womanly, feminine things. She's also pregnant in this, so it speaks to a time of gestation, a gestational period. She can sometimes also represent the summer. She is only the second of 2 females in the major arcana, the first being the High Priestess. She is a more outward facing energy in the sense that it represents growth, abundance, fertility, good things happening, as it were. But back over here, I have the King of Swords, an air sign male, normally Aquarius, but can also be Libra and or Gemini. As a profession, this guy's going to be a soldier, a police officer, a surgeon, an oral surgeon. He could be a chef, a writer, a scientist, any place where sharp tools and or keen intellect is needed to get the job done. Now, underneath him, I have the Knight of Cups. Now, cups for me simply represent the emotional quotient, how something makes you feel, or how do you feel about it, or what emotions are being either felt or displayed. And the Knight of Cups is a fickle kind of an energy. As you can see, his horse is in mid-stride. He hasn't crossed the stream yet. And he's, even though he's got wings on his feet and on his helmet, he really isn't moving. And so whenever this card shows up, to me, it indicates some kind of event. Even though this is a message, all knights represent messages to me, but that message comes along to move a situation along. Okay, so that's the event. Whatever the message is, there's an emotional quotient attached to it. As an individual, this is going to be somebody who makes a lot of promises, makes you feel a particular way, says a lot of the right things, but there never really is a promise or something concrete by which you can hang your hat. Here with the Six of Cups, the card of sentimentality, memories, emotions, the idea that maybe someone is returning from the past in order to pay you back for something that you did, a kindness that you did for them. Sometimes this card is looked at as the soulmate card, okay? I've seen it also show up when it talks about redecorating your home. To me, this is the idea. I've even seen it show up when it talks about traveling back perhaps to your, childhood home. Even I've seen it show up when it talks about going to like a school reunion or something like that, where you're going to be hanging around with people that you knew when you were younger. But I have the Devil here. Now, the Devil is an interesting card because most of the time what we are dealing with when he shows up, and particularly in this instance, this to me is talking about either obsession or possession. And when I say possession, wanting to own something or wanting to have control over someone else and or a situation, but for negative ends. Usually when he shows up, it says that something dark looms, but it typically turns out to be okay. But also what the Devil talks about, because he represents the planet of Saturn and Capricorn, the sign of Capricorn, is the idea of what do you chain yourself to, okay? So in that instance, if you want to buy a house, what are you going to chain yourself to? You're going to work, you're going to get your credit score up, you're going to make sure all your bills are paid. So what do you chain yourself to? But it also says you are not bound in such a way that you could never be free. As you can see, the two figures here have the chains loosely around their neck, and they can pull them off and walk away at any time. But there's something else going on here with the Devil, and I'm not exactly sure what that is. Finally, we come to the Three of Cups. This is a card of celebration. It's usually a universal kind of celebration. So this could be a graduation, a baby shower, a promotion, a retirement, a birthday. So it's something universal that everybody knows. There's an indication that there may be three females here, but it could just simply be three people who are expressing joy over some event. Now, the Emperor, which I find these three males here down the center across this row, these can be actually two different aspects of the same person, okay? Maybe outwardly this is the job of what he does, but maybe he's a very, very passionate person, okay? Or vice versa, where he's a very passionate individual, but also can be a very cold and calculating and logical and rational individual. So this could be someone's sun sign and moon sign, or moon sign and sun sign, or rising sign. But here with the Emperor is giving the side eye to this Three of Cups, as if to say, I'm not too sure about whatever this celebration is. So on the one hand, it appears to me that this can be some kind of project or business deal, okay? But on the other hand, it also feels as though this may be someone returning, coming back, okay, from your past. Here. And who's going to create a problem for you? Because sometimes this card can also be desires and addictions, Oh my God, the person shows up, I'm not going to be able to resist them. over the entire reading, I have the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords can be the idea of trying to trust whatever your intuition is telling you. It is about sitting still, as you can see, taking a moment of rest on that bench, and listening to what your intuition is telling you. The card can sometimes be an indication of unsettling communications. It can be the idea of not knowing which way to turn as it comes to emotions, okay, when it deals with emotions. It can be the idea of someone pulling one over on you. The hoodwink card. Is the person tricking me? Are they lying to me? I don't know what to think about the situation, but I always say you know exactly what's going on, even though you may not be able to see it. And the reason why I say this is because your intuition is telling you what's happening. You just may not be able to physically see whatever's happening. So trust what your intuition is telling you. Okay? Now, I can't look at this card, or this card because they represent traditionally people. So what does that leave me? It leaves me the Six of Cups and the Three of Cups as it relates to all four of these cards. I think additionally what I find is that from the 6 to the 3, we're missing 3 cups. Okay? We've lost 3 cups. And this could be why this Emperor individual is giving this the side eye. All right? So let's take a look to see what we can find here. The Six of Cups. We'll start with it. Okay. The Six of Cups with the Emperor is an indication that there may be some misunderstandings within a personal relationship that need to be discussed and resolved. But also with the Six of Cups with the Empress implies that some work needs to be put into a personal relationship, as there have been some miscommunications and misunderstandings that need to be corrected. Well, that kind of makes sense here, particularly with this Two of Swords. So to me, this is some kind of problem that has cropped up, and I think it is a persistent one. Okay? That's what I think this is about. Now, the Three of Cups with the Empress may be implying news of a pregnancy or the birth of a child. So remember, I said this could be about children here. I don't know. Maybe this is a situation where you're pregnant and you're not quite certain who the father of the baby is. Maybe there's been an affair here. And now suddenly you find yourself in this particular situation. I'm not sure. So that's really all I can get out of this. Let me see if the Two of Swords has anything to say over this, with this. And it does not. It can speak of a power struggle going on in your life, where you are asked to weigh up the positive and negatives and make a clear decision, or choose what will solve or at least alleviate the problem or situation. The card can sometimes be an indication of reunions and reconciliations taking place in your life. Maybe this is the idea of a past lover coming back. Maybe you have a child with a past lover. It says that if there's been a dispute with a friend or acquaintance, this card indicates that an amicable solution will be found, and both parties will feel satisfied and positive about the dispute being resolved. However, what the two represents to me, as it always does, is a choice, an option, a duality, an opposition, and a crossroads. This is the idea that a very tough decision needs to be made. And it indicates weighing up the pros and cons. Hold on. Jesus. Okay, sorry about that. That was the VA calling with my neurological consult. They're trying to get me moved up. I don't know how that's going to go, but I've been waiting since September. So anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, about the Two of Swords. And how it is talking about difficult decisions and choices to be made. But it can also be an indication that there's a stalemate. I feel that between these two figures here, there is a persistent problem. And I don't know if it's an addiction, if it's a power struggle. I'm not exactly sure what this is. So let's, I think, because as you can see, the Knight comes in between the two. Okay. So I'm going to look at this Knight of Cups, and I'm going to look at the Devil. Why? Because they are both at cross purposes here. And right in the center is this King of Wands. Okay. The Amante, female, lover. The Gran Consolazione. And the Il Nemico. That tells me everything I need to know. What we are looking at is the emergence or the return of a male enemy. Now, this is someone known to you. And in the case of a romance, this is an individual who is trying to steal you away from your partner. In fact, I do believe that you have children and that the marriage has been one of success. Everything you've kind of ever wanted. There's peace, there's finances, there's riches, there's the sense that everything is the way that it should be. Here, with the Amante female, she is simply showing up as an intensifier to say that there are emotions involved here. This is typically someone who does not share her emotions a lot, okay, about her life. But here we see that that peace is going to be disturbed. It is coming. You will hear from him. All right. Typically, the first person that comes to mind when you see this card is the individual. That card comes up to confirm it. So this, to me, is someone returning back, okay, under this full moon. Let's take a look at the Devil card to see what the Devil has to say. For some of you, this person has already made contact. The Sacerdote, the priest, the Fedeltà, the dog, and the Stanza card. Well, so that whole idea of there's some misunderstandings within this personal relationship, miscommunications and whatnot, that holds true. But here we see the Sacerdote. This is the counselor. This is someone who you can confide in, you can trust in. He represents, he's another representation of this King of Swords. We can see that there is a loyalty here, and this card usually represents the idea of loyalty either to a person or an idea or ideal. But here we have the Stanza card. The Stanza card indicates two people who know a secret about each other. They are close friends, okay? But it also is an indication of a meeting of some sort, a clandestine meeting. Sometimes this card can be all about, as I said, an affair, all right? So this is what the cards are saying, that there is someone who's going to be returning from your past, and while you may be happy to see this individual, there's a misunderstanding between your current partner, whether you are married to him or not, okay? I think this person means a lot to you. This person from your past. This could simply be the idea that his passions are still aflame for you, okay? But as you can see, I think that he knows, or he suspects, or yes, he suspects that this individual is back and that you may be meeting with him. So I would say that you perhaps should discuss this. It would be the best thing, and don't let it fester. You know, 'cause sometimes your imagination is worse than what the actual reality can be. But there you have it. It is a past, someone from your past who has the intention of stealing you away. Um, and so you're gonna have to decide what's more important, you know, to you. So here is your card for the Golden Nostradamus. Let's see what he has to say. It is the fish, and I think this is rather apt because fish swim like the Pisces, so there's a lot of confusion here, swimming in different directions, not knowing exactly where you are, being emotionally at sea. Okay, that's not the meaning of this card. But look what's on the back side. The cat. So I'm going to read you this one, and then I'm going to read you that one. Okay. So this one is good. Number 25. The fish. It says, once you have let gossip fly, these tales you can never again belie. Silence will bring counsel and will not expose you to the attacks of others. Stop often and think, stand still and reflect quietly. It will lead to the discovery of the right path to be taken. There you have it. But now the flip side of this, quite interesting. The cat. With sweet little words and a pleasant face, the traitor convinces and gains your good graces. This is an ill-omened card that predicts betrayal, or must encourage you to reflect upon the trust you have undeservedly placed in someone or in a situation you believe to be safe. It may predict unfaithfulness in love. Well, it's all right here. So that is what I have for you for the full moon. That is the major life change. You're going to have to make a decision about what to do and how to do it, how to discuss this misunderstanding. Really, it's a big decision. So until next time, be safe, be well. Bye.